Hey guys, and we are back with some more Walden, a game. Now we just reached the winter. It is now the winter season, and I have a present. I don't know which one is mine though. The smallest one is mine.
Good tidings of the season, son. Some lamp oil to keep your little cabin bright and warm, father.
Okay, we got lamp oil. Let me eat this. Your article has been published in the journal. So I should have gotten paid, right? Let me check my mail. Because if I got paid, then they said $12, I think, which is more than enough to help pay for our family's bills, or not. Or not. Never mind.
A fine Christmas to you, Henry. Come into town to ward off the chill of the woods, have you? I wager your mother has some hot pie for you to nip.
Okay, I thought maybe that we get a check for something in the mail, but I guess not. So let me go back home and check on everything around there. Let me look at that.
An article published. Here, let me read it. What magic you work, Henry. Though I'm sure Mr. Emerson had some hand in this, did he not? The fees will be of such help to Father since the factory isn't doing well. And what will John say? His own little brother, a published author, no less.
Every man is the builder of a temple, called his body, to the god he worships, after a style purely his own, nor can he get off by hammering marble instead. We are all sculptors and painters, and our material is our own flesh and blood and bones. Any nobleness begins at once to refine a man's features, any meanness to imbrute them.
Oh, there you are, Henry. I almost miss seeing you so familiar as your shape there by our hearth. Lydian and I were just saying that we think of you almost as one of our own family now. So often do we see you here. Be sure you keep some time for your own work now, along with all the chores my wife puts you to. I hear the writing is finally going along well.
Anything to say to me?
There you are, Henry.
Nope.
I haven't found it yet, but I'll keep looking.
Thought you might give me like a Christmas present or something. Let us go back to our house just to kind of check out everything, make sure I don't need to do any repairs or anything. And see if there are any letters, I guess, from Alcott. Once again, make sure I'm going the right way. We have no need to check our bean plants, mainly because they're all dead. They're definitely all dead. So something I want to mention quickly regarding this game is that if you've seen my last part of this game, if you clicked on this one, this is the third part in this series, in this playthrough. I mentioned in the last part that I plan to kind of fast forward through these types of walking scenes, and I did not choose to do so, mainly because I guess if you want to experience this game as in a full way without really buying it, then it'd be better to just go through the walking scenes as I would, as you would if you played the game. But I know they're
The snow
long.
had already covered the ground since the 25th of November, and surrounded me suddenly with the scenery of winter. I withdrew yet farther into my shell, and endeavored to keep a bright fire both within my house and within my breast.
So yeah, that's why they were not fast forwarded. But then you can always skip it, I guess, by yourself if you don't want to watch all of that.
December 1845. Dearest Henry, how do you fare in these deep months of winter? We worry for your health. never strong. Mother has taken ill, and I worry for you as well. Be sure to make your way home to us for the holidays, as we have some festive offerings just for you. Fa la 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 la.
My dwelling was small, and I could hardly entertain
I
an
like her
echo in
sister
it.
also. She
But
is...
it seemed larger
I like
for
her.
being a single apartment and remote from neighbors. All the attractions of a house were concentrated in one room. It was kitchen, chamber, parlor, and keeping room. And whatever satisfaction parent or child, master or servant, derived from living in a house, I enjoyed it all.
And we have a good amount of food right now.
At this season, I seldom had a visitor. When the snow lay deepest, no wanderer ventured near my house for a week or fortnight at a time, but there I lived as snug as a meadow mouse. The mice which haunted my house were not the common ones. One would come out regularly
Oh.
at lunchtime and pick up the crumbs at my feet. It probably had never seen a man before, and it soon became quite familiar, and would run over my shoes and up my clothes.
But it's a cute mouse, so it's okay. I did not check my clothes and the state of my clothes. I might need to repair them a little bit just because I probably have only summer clothes for the winter. I did not buy new clothes, which you could do in the store. So something about this game, I guess, because in the beginning of this game I said I didn't understand what was going on, and
The one who came from farthest to my lodge, through deepest snows and most dismal tempests, was a poet. We made that small house ring with boisterous mirth and resound with the murmur of much sober talk. Broadway was still and deserted in comparison.
oh, so yeah, what I was saying is that when I started this game, I did not know what the main objective was. I didn't know what the end game was. What was the whole point of it? I did a little bit of research, background information, kind of got the gist of what was happening, and then was still kind of like, so what do we need to do exactly? And I guess that's what kind of makes this an experimental narrative type of game, interactive game, which is you kind of pick your own journey. You can either choose to stay in this cabin in the woods. You can stay here. You cannot interact with anybody. You can choose to make the opt to not interact with anybody, to stay away from the town, stay away from Mr. Emerson's house, and just kind of live your life here and figure out what to do, just from this alone, and just explore the woods. And then you have the option to I guess kind of stay with Mr. Emerson, do what he wants, and interact with him for the entirety of the time. That could be an option as well. And then you have another option, I guess, where you can just stay in your house in Concord and just, kind of breeze money, help your family, but primarily stay there without really coming into this place. Because I'm pretty sure you can just stay and remain in Concord, make money, buy food and all of that, and your mom provides you fresh clothes, so you don't have to worry about that. But you can do all of that without even stepping foot in here ever again. So I guess it's mainly up to you how you play this story. And the way I've been playing it right now is I've been trying to kind of do everything. I've been trying to make money. I've been trying to talk to Mr. Emerson. I've been trying to, publish my work. I've been trying to help Alcott. Which is why I've been running out of time a lot. And I guess maybe one of the points of the game is that, or I guess the realism of the game is that there is a night-day cycle. I mean, a morning and night cycle. You cannot do everything that you want to do. It's impossible to do that. And maybe it's also kind of forcing you to pick what you want to do. Oh, I know that. Check your fuel stores. Press and hold the right mouse button. I'm pressing and holding the right mouse button. So yeah, I guess maybe one point of the game was that you had to really pick what you wanted to do and just focus on that alone. You know, don't really stray from the course. What is that? Okay. Okay. Let me just see. No. Is Sophia's thing still there? Kind of. It's right there. This is kind of nice, honestly. I'm getting close to that axe. Okay. Handmade fishing rod. Oh. I can't even fish though, so what's the point of that? Okay. And there's a big X down there, so I want to kind of see that. Let's get that as well. Because I don't know when we'll have the chance to pick this up. No, no.
When the ponds were firmly frozen, they afforded not only new and shorter routes to many points, but new views from their surfaces of the familiar landscape around them.
I think we're going this way. Because I want to make it all the way to the end over there. And you don't even have to worry about... Well, I guess you should probably worry about the ice snapping. Because that's the thing, right? That's a possibility that the ice can just give way under you. And then you're alone here, so you're pretty much dead. But then whenever we kind of pass out, it always says that a friend helped you out. So I'm guessing our friends come by fairly often to check on us, just to make sure that we are okay. Or our sister does. Because the first few times when we passed out, it sounded like our sister. And then it sounded like Mr. Emerson. Okay, we are close. I just want to see what this X leads to. Okay. And hopefully I can make it there without... before the day ends. Do you hear that? Is that Santa Claus? We're right here. Ah, is that the book? I came all this way for Mr. Emerson's book. Let me see my objectives in my journal. And there is the noise. Solve Sophia's riddle, collect fish. Okay. We're not gonna make it back. So we just wait for it to end and then it'll transport us back. At your cabin, I think. We've been waking up at Concord most of this time, but let's go into our cabin and let's kind of repair our clothes. Getting there?
Ow.
Nope. Come on. Come on. Okay. Good enough. Anything else? Any letters? No. Let's do our house. I'll focus today on just mainly my house, and then tomorrow I will go to Concord. I will check to see if I have any paychecks in the mail, and then I will give Mr. Emerson his book. I probably need some food as well. Let me check. About half full. Yeah, so let me get some food. Just in case this tree, this shrub, whatever you want to call it. What is it? You will see plenty still in April. Okay. Are we close to being full? Yes. Now let's go back and work on... Let's look at our fire a little bit, actually. And then we will go. So you see, parts like this, I was contemplating whether I wanted to, just like, kind of skip through them, fast forward it in Premiere Pro. And I figured, while that's probably a thing I should do, you don't really experience the full game that way. You experience it through what I'm doing, basically, which is walking, taking the time to walk, taking the time to stop and look at the fire in order to get some of our energy back. And that kind of makes the game what it is. So by fast forwarding the game in these parts, it might seem more like you're trying to skip out on the game, on what it kind of means, what it represents for Henry. So overall I figured maybe not to do that. Because we are Henry. This is an experiment that we are living. Somewhat rested, okay. So I don't think I'm gonna have really anything in the journal today. Excellent shape. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it like that. I am gonna go look at the fire again. And then I'm gonna chop some wood, get some berries, and maybe explore a little bit more. Just to see if there's anything else. I need to look for Sophia's thing. I know I have an idea where it is, but I don't remember if it's completely across the lake or somewhat to the left or right of the lake. Let me see. I don't even know if we'll make it in time. Okay, let me look at the fire. Somewhat rested, that's good enough. Let us... Actually, we don't have to worry about food that much, I don't think. Yeah, we don't have to worry about food that much. Okay. So let's go across the lake. Because we have to look for the rock formation, which we saw in the lake. And I think it was just straight across. I'm not sure. Because we have to follow her clues. So I'm guessing there won't be like a red X on the map. And of course it probably doesn't matter too much in the game if we find it or not. It does not that big of an impact. But still. I know no more arrowheads right now. Ah, there it is. Okay. It's this way now. Because it's on the journal map. Yeah. There it is. Let's see if there's anything around here. Because, I'm trying to remember what she said. How do I look at my past mail? Or maybe around here? Maybe not. Maybe it's not here. Maybe we just came out here for no reason whatsoever. Well, the train tracks are here, so we can kind of explore that, I guess. Let's not go to Concord. Let's go the other way. There's Arrowhead.
Our inventions are wont to be pretty toys, which distract our attention from serious things. They are but improved means to an unimproved end.
I don't want to keep running because I know we're gonna lose energy soon, fairly soon. But it's just a long way, and I don't want to like walk the entire way because we definitely wouldn't make it in time, I don't think. Are those cows? Those are cows. There's a fire over there. It might be useful to maybe stare at it for a few minutes. Is Mr. Emerson here? I have a book for him. Okay. And we have reached an invisible wall. Okay, so we can't go any further. Now, this is something Dear Esther didn't have, which is there was no invisible walls, or I didn't find really invisible walls. You could pretty much jump down for anything, go into any area you wanted. You could go into the spoilers. You can go into the water to drown. You can jump off a cliff and kill yourself. You can jump from any location pretty much. Even though there's no jump button, you can just run off the wherever it is. There were no walls at all. Whereas this one has walls. So both games kind of featured a different type of realism.
If we knew all the laws of nature, we should need only one fact or the description of one actual phenomenon to infer all the particular results at that point. Now we know only a few laws, and our result is vitiated not, of course, by any confusion or irregularity in nature, but by our ignorance of essential elements in the When we have obtained those things which are necessary to life, there is another alternative than to obtain the superfluities. And that is to adventure on life now.
Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, because realism is something we need to compare in the game with my professor. My professor told us to do. And they both kind of feature different elements of realism, which is this game has the day-night cycle, of course. It has the jogging and getting tired type thing, which is more natural.
To be a philosopher is not merely to have subtle thoughts, nor even to found a school, but so to love wisdom as to live according to its dictates, a life of simplicity, independence, magnanimity, and trust. It is to solve some of the problems of life, not only theoretically, but practically.
Yeah, but this game features all of that, where the day-night cycle, the you getting exhausted, the element where you need to get food, you need clothes, you know, all of that. But the invisible walls certainly take you out of it when there's a location where you know you could go to, but you can't really walk into it.
In one heavy thunder shower, the lightning struck a large pitch pine across the pond, making a very conspicuous and perfectly regular spiral groove from top to bottom, an inch or more deep, and 4 or 5 inches wide, as you would groove a walking stick.
Whereas, so yeah, that kind of takes you out of it, getting stopped. But, Dear Esther was kind of the opposite in that way, as I said, where you can literally walk anywhere, you can drop off of any type of cliff, go into water, you can do pretty much anything. There's no restrictions that way. Let me see that.
In any weather, at any hour of the day or night, I have been anxious to improve the nick of time, and notch it on my stick too, to stand on the meeting of two eternities, the past and future, which is precisely the present moment, to toe that line.
Whereas, and as well as that, Dear Esther only featured walking. There was no option to kind of sprint, to run, or any of that, which I guess kind of helps, I guess is part of the realism, which is you wouldn't really be sprinting everywhere to get around, but then you have the option to, which is not something that is available in Dear Esther. Graphics wise, they're both kind of the same in a way. Like, they both have more realistic graphics, a little bit more, maybe Dear Esther a little bit more than this game, but they all feature that.
That grand old poem called Winter is round again. Nature loves this rhyme so well that she never tires of repeating it.
I think this game though might be a bit more realistic than Dear Esther, just because we have more of the option to do things, to interact with our environment. But then also I guess a big thing is depending on the personality of the player, of the narrator. Because in Dear Esther, this is spoilers again, we're playing a depressed man who lost his wife, who I think we assumed by now he is the reason why his wife is dead, because they got into a car accident. It was his fault. He wasn't drunk, he was tired, as he said like a few times in the game, and his wife died. And we basically play this depressed man who is going to his death, who goes to the island, kind of reminisces, and then goes up to his death and jumps off a tower and kills himself. So I guess in that sense, if he wouldn't really necessarily look around or pick up things just because he knows the island by now. It's his island. It was his and his wife's island. So what's the point of really picking up things, inspecting items, going through everything if you know that you're gonna die anyway? That you plan to kill yourself. There's no point. So that way, that kind of, in a sense, it's like, okay, why? There's no point in doing it. There's no reason to really walk, to run, to interact with our environment, because we know what's end game. We know what's gonna happen, and there's no point. Whereas this one, Henry's doing it more as an experiment. He wants to explore all he can. He put himself into a secluded area to kind of get away from anything and to, I guess, maybe just clear his head, get a new mind. So in that sense, of course, I think he would be more exploratory. He would want to pick up everything he could, write things down, look around him, kind of figure out what's going on with him, if this is helping him and all that. With the option that his family is right there. He's getting letters from his family, from his friends. He's more optimistic, and he didn't seclude himself, it seems, to like really, because he's depressed, because he has a mental problem and mental issues. This is an experiment. He came for an experiment. He knows what he's doing. He has a whole journal, it's two different personalities. Henry has the more interactive, exploratory, I am going to look at everything. I'm going to pick up everything. I'm going to talk to as many people as I can, and I'm just going to interact with as much things as I can in my environment. He has that personality. Whereas Paul in Dear Esther is definitely a lot more depressed. He is extremely depressed. And so I guess it goes with their personality, their mindset at the time, and how they feel, which I guess it definitely plays into realism for both games. That kind of proves why. So yeah, because that's what I was saying for Dear Esther. I was saying that the reason why I felt maybe this game was more interactive and more real was because of the interaction with the environment, but then that's not the case anymore, I guess. Because kind of looking at it now, they're both really realistic when you look at the character you're playing. So enough talk from me. There'll be probably more talk at the end of this video. Let's go to Concord. But yeah, just need to speak my mind since I'm recording this. The reason I'm recording this is so that I have something to look back on when I am writing my essays and reports and all of that. Okay. Am I getting paid? Like, it's only at $5, and I'm pretty sure the guy said $12. So I feel like I'm getting ripped off here.
Do not trouble yourself much to get new things, whether clothes or friends. Turn the old, return to them. Things do not change, we change. Sell your clothes and keep your thoughts.
Where's my money? Excuse me. Excuse me, can you... Where's my paychecks? He said $12. I only got, I think, $2 in advance.
Public opinion is a weak tyrant compared with our own private opinion. What a man thinks of himself, that is which determines, or rather indicates, his fate.
Good to see you, Henry.
Hello.
What can I do for you?
Um, do I need the coat? It's $3. Utensils. Nothing really. That kind of sucks. I guess maybe I'll get my... I don't know when I'm gonna get my paycheck for the articles. Because it seems like there's 2 articles. And no payment. Yeah, this, even though it doesn't earn that much money, let's just pick it up.
Henry, there you are.
Good
Oh,
afternoon.
you found my box?
Yes, I've read it.
That's good. I had hoped you would, and that it would give you inspiration. I think you might be like the banyan tree, Henry, with its leaves all green and waving hymns which whisper truth.
Yes, I have seen it and can get it for you.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I look forward to it. Goodbye for now.
So yeah, I guess you can focus your entire... If you're not worried about getting money and doing your plans and all of that, you can just focus on Mr. Emerson and his books and just kind of like surviving in the wild. I guess that's an option. Or I guess plan out each day for something, like one day for exploring the area, one day for making money. Let me do that, actually. One day for helping Mr. Emerson. You know, you kind of split up your days. You don't try to do everything all in once, which is what I was trying to do at the beginning. And the fastest way, or the easiest way to make money was the beans, but we don't have that option now just because it is not bean season. And I thought maybe if we got enough berries, we could sell them, which was not the option either. I guess you'd have sold fish if we caught a lot, but I didn't find the fishing rod in time. So let's go back home. Because we need to get wood anyway and patch up our house. Which seems to be doing, it keeps getting like in a state of repair. It needs to be it keeps getting to that point more often in the winter. But then I guess because of snow and everything. And I probably should restock on food. Maybe tomorrow we'll focus just on making money. Because let me see, how much did I earn? So pretty good, I think. So I think I might just do that tomorrow. Focus on getting money. I should have probably went to Concord and looked at if there were any job listings in the post office, which I did not do.
After a still winter night, I awoke with the impression that some question had been put to me, which I had been endeavoring in vain to answer in my sleep. As what, how, when, where? But there was dawning nature, in whom all creatures live, looking in at my broad windows with serene and satisfied face, and no question on her lips. I awoke to an answered question, to nature and daylight. The snow lying deep on the earth dotted with young pines, and the very slope of the hill on which my house is placed seemed to say, "Forward."
Let me see if I can get my house to green. And then we should be done. Until tomorrow. And then it needs repairs again, probably. I think this is the third day in early winter, though. So we should be in late winter tomorrow, I want to say, probably. And then we just have spring after that. My fuel is in the red. I guess looking at the fire gets rid of my fuel more quickly. Which kind of sucks. That kind of sucks. But of course, there has to be a reason why. You can't just look at the fuel and expect to be fully rested and just do whatever you want. So that's kind of like a cheat, if that was possible. So I guess another realistic part of this game is the fact that you have to get supplies, you have to rest. There's no cheat where you can just do everything unlimitedly. Let's repair clothes. Okay. Let us do more exploring. Is that a fire down there? It is. Okay. We've actually... Oh, there's something.
The first ice is especially interesting and perfect, being hard, dark, and transparent. If you examine it closely the morning after it freezes, you find that the greater part of the bubbles, which at first appeared to be within it, are against its undersurface, and that more are continually rising from the bottom. While the ice is as yet comparatively solid and dark, that is, you see the water through it.
Basically, let's be on the lookout for arrowheads. So we'll just skate this way until we can see any arrowheads. Or if we can just see anything new that we might have missed. Have there always been fishing rods? I just missed them? Because I've never seen those before. Any arrowheads? No. I don't see anything. The trees, look at the trees. They're like all chopped up. Kind of, you see? Like that one. Anything here? Yes.
I sometimes left a good fire when I went to take a walk in a winter afternoon, and when I returned 3 or 4 hours afterward, it would be still alive and glowing.
Now let's walk and explore.
A written word is the choicest of relics. It is something at once more intimate with us and more universal than any other work of art.
I don't think we can make it back across to where Mr. Emerson's book is, but we can try. I keep hearing like bells, like you know, like jingle bells, like Santa Claus type things. I hear that. I don't know why, but then I constantly hear like random noises, like a horse carriage before, but there's no one on the road. Can I make it? Am I going in the right path? I am. Maybe turn a little bit that way. Okay, we found it. Well, there's nothing really left to do because it's pretty much the end of the day. So let's collect some wood. And there's the ticking noise, signaling the end of our days. let's go to Concord again. Because we said we were going to focus on making money this time. So we can just hang back in Emerson's place.
Is not January the hardest month to get
Mid-winter.
through? When I have weathered that, I will get into the Gulf Stream of winter, nearer the shores of spring.
John's passing. John's my brother. John died?
February 1842. Dearest Sophia, I have just heard of poor John's passing, and am suffering from the loss of such a friend. I send my heartfelt best to your family, especially Henry. How will he go on without his brother and best friend? The leaves are falling, falling, solemnly and slow. Caw, caw. The rooks are calling. It is a sound of woe. Ellen.
And the tree is gone. So this might be like January.
Interesting.
Ah. So I know this is really bad, but what year am I in exactly? '45. Okay, so my brother died about 3 years ago.
I'm afraid there is nothing I can do for the young man. It's the lockjaw, and the poison has gone directly to his blood.
Oh, what will we do without our John? He is the light of our household.
You must make him comfortable as you can. See there, your brother Henry holds him closely now, but still he slips away. May God be with him.
We are lost. We are lost. Our best flower is fading.
Oh, that's sad. That is sad.
My friend Thoreau, I have been hurried and have not settled your
Finally!
case with Graham.
Finally!
I did see him, but it was at a crowded dinner party where I had no chance to question him on business. I enclose you $12 for your article on Maine scenery, as promised. I know it is worth more, though I have not found time to read it. It is rather long for my columns and too fine for the millions, but I consider it a cheap bargain and shall print it myself if I do not find another magazine. What about your book? Is it going well? Yours, Horace Greeley. Oh, hello, Henry. Did you hear the news about the fugitive slaves that were caught stealing food just last night out by your pond? Quite the excitement. To think, they made it so far only to be caught for lack of supplies.
So we have enough to help pay my family's rent, which I think I want to do that.
I do not speak to those who are well employed, in whatever circumstances, and they know whether they are well employed or not, but mainly to the mass of men who are discontented, and idly complaining of the hardness of their lot or of the times, when they might improve them.
Let's do that. Help them get by hard times. Okay, good. Now we need to pay back our taxes. So we need how much? $7.92. Okay, so that's not too bad.
Nature and human life are as various as our several constitutions. Who shall say what prospect life offers to another? Could a greater miracle take place than for us to look through each other's eyes for an instant? The greater part of what my neighbors call good I believe in my soul to be bad, and if I repent of anything, it is very likely to be my good behavior. What demon possessed me that I behaved so well?
Another memory here.
It is a terrible blow. First, your brother John is
Oh,
cut
Emerson.
down so suddenly.
Oh, I'm sorry, Emerson.
And now my own dear little boy. Unbearable, truly. I may find solace in a long trip, far away from the woods and trails that remind me of him so. You are a true friend to watch over my home while I travel. You are more like a brother than my own is to me.
Emerson. Oh man, oh god. That's why the money, that's why there was no... Can I still make money though? But Emerson... ugh. That is rough. That is a rough blow. Let me do this. Let me just see if that... It does. I guess because I'm still helping him with his house. So let's do that. That gives me 801, and then let me go to the railroad because I can earn a full $1 there. But that's really rough for both of us. And Emerson was one of the few people that we could actually like really talk to, and that was our friends. He was one of the few people, because we do talk to Sophia, but we hear from Sophia. We don't really get to talk to her or her parents. Ah, and then listen to the music right now. It's so like depressed. It's like so sad music. It's slow and light. And it's like, you know, something bad has happened. You know that. But yeah, all of this happened in the past. Because those were all memories. The arrowheads and orange were memories. Our brother died 1942, I think it said, and it's 1945 right now. So we're kind of, I guess we really are alone in this cabin. We're just kind of reliving memories that happened in the past. That's probably why Henry got away. He left. He took a break and he just got out of his town, his home, and came to a secluded area. Because so much depressing things were happening. Because so much tragedy was happening that for the time being it might have been better to just kind of get away. But yeah, what we know about Henry right now is he had a brother. He and his brother were gonna open a school, and it wouldn't like hold a lot of people, but a few people. We know that Henry's an author. He likes to write. He was writing a book, and he wrote articles.
If
You know,
the
it has a
day and the
sister.
night are such that you greet them with joy, and life emits a fragrance like flowers and sweet-scented herbs, is more elastic, more starry, more immortal, that is your success. All nature is your congratulation, and you have cause momentarily to bless yourself.
So we know he has a sister. We know that he was in love with Ellen, and that she loved both me and my brother, but she couldn't pick, or her reason why she rejected me was because it would break my brother's heart, because he liked her too. And then she later said, or someone said something in relation to, it was her father that made her reject the offer, or made her reject me, because he didn't believe in my views. And my views seem to be really anti-slavery, you know, which is probably something that's not a lot of people do. A lot of people agree with. My house needs repair as well. Shit. So we'll do all of this. Tomorrow we will go back to my house. We won't go into Concord like we usually do. And then we will from there we will fix up the house, get some wood, and then if we have time make our way to Concord to pay my taxes. Because I figure, I guess that might be the best thing to do. Just pay the taxes, get that over it. Instead of causing my family more problems. Or more worry that I might be thrown in jail again because I did not pay my taxes. How long is this? Do I have to go the entirety of the railroad? I might have to.
When the farmer has got his house, he may not be the richer but the poorer for it, and it be the house that has got him.
I really hope I can do all of this in time. Oh yeah. Okay, nice. Now let me make my way back home. Because I need fuel and I need to repair my house. Wasn't there something around here? Did I imagine seeing something around here? Or did it just disappear? I think it disappeared. I really saw something over there. Guess not. No, there's definitely something over there. I don't care what you say. Why are they just kind of disappearing? Okay, let's walk back, I guess. Shit, where was I? We probably need some food anyway.
February 1846. Dear Henry, we have not seen you much since the holidays. I feel that you might wish to forget us. and our mutual loss as well. Even though you don't say his name aloud, I know you think of our poor brother John often, as do I. Your loving sister, Sophia.
When I had been exposed to the rudest blasts a long time, my whole body began to grow torpid. When I reached the genial atmosphere of my house, I soon recovered my faculties and prolonged my life.
Dear Henry, I see that your family was among the first to sign the recent petition for disunion with the slave-holding southern states. It is a sign of changing sentiments in our small conquer. Even so, we have much work to do, and I require your assistance once again tomorrow morning. Be certain to check here for my instructions. Hopefully, A. Bronson Alcott.
Okay, so can I just say something? I was kind of like, okay, I didn't really understand what help we were doing regarding Alcott, you know, like what we were helping people, but they were just travelers. I didn't realize that we were helping African Americans escape from slavery, from their owners. I did not realize that. I just realizing it now because he mentioned slavery, and that we have more to do, and that that hopefully he'll give some instructions to help people out. And I just put that together right now, that was what it means. Which is really late in the game because it's already winter. But wow, I can't believe I didn't know that didn't realize it till now. Let's cabin. If someone needs help, I want to help someone. Okay.
Listen, Henry. William and Ellen Craft have made their way from Georgia in disguise. She is his light-skinned master, and he is her slave. They are so very close to freedom. Bring these items for them to the abandoned shanty near Fairyland Meadow, and hide them in the place I've marked on your map. Place them before end of night tonight, or they may be captured and returned to a life of enslavement. Yours, A. Bronson Alcott.
That's a far away. You want me to go like a really long way from our cabin. But I'll do it. I want to help. And the easiest way is to go through the pond. But yeah, I guess Henry came, he left, he went into the woods, he secluded himself to kind of just, I guess maybe face his demons.
Every winter, the liquid and trembling surface of the pond, which was so sensitive to every breath and reflected every light and shadow, becomes solid to the depth of a foot or a foot and a half. Like the marmots in the surrounding hills, it closes its eyelids and becomes dormant for 3 months or more.
So my kind of, I guess my view on Henry's changed a little bit, because I just figured, oh, he's doing this because he's on an experiment, he's a scientist, he wants to kind of figure out what happened, like, you know, what's going on with nature, how he can, I guess, tune himself better to nature, which is not the case,
Like the water,
it seems.
the Walden ice, seen near at hand, has a green tint, but at a distance is beautifully blue, and you can easily tell it from the white ice of the river, or the merely greenish ice of some ponds, a quarter-mile off.
Yeah, so he didn't just come here for an experiment, he came kind of to get away, because his brother died. Emerson lost his son, and we lost Emerson, in a sense. We lost Ellen. What is that? That's a dog? That's a dog. That's a puppy. And this just got really depressing. This
100
entire game.
Irishmen, with Yankee overseers, came from Cambridge every day to get out the ice. They divided it into cakes, and these, being sledded to the shore, were rapidly hauled off to an ice platform and raised by grappling irons and block and tackle, worked by horses onto a stack as surely as so many barrels of flour, and there placed evenly side by side and row upon row, as if they form the solid base of an obelisk designed to pierce the clouds.
So I wonder if addition to getting away and kind of, you know, getting away from Concord just because of what happened, if we knew what Alcott was doing in the first place and kind of came into the woods to help him out, in a sense, you know, say we're on an experiment, say that's the only reason why we're here, but one of the real reasons is that we plan to help him out, help runaway slaves out, so that no one will be suspicious. Okay, I hope that helps.
In dark winter mornings, or in short winter afternoons, I sometimes heard a pack of hounds threading all the woods with hounding cry and yelp, unable to resist the instinct of the chase, and the note of the hunting horn at intervals, proving that man was in the rear.
I heard someone say something. But yeah, this, like, at first, I was kind of like, you know, whatever about this game, but now, I guess going really, like, listening to the storyline of it, and kind of relating to the or like, you know, a feeling for the players, this game definitely got a bit more interesting, instead of just being a normal, kind of like, a survival simulation type game. I need to get back. I need wood. I think I'm going to wake up in Concord when I end this day, because I need to pay my taxes.
No humane being, past the thoughtless age of boyhood, will wantonly murder any creature which holds its life by the same tenure that he does.
Or I need to find a way to pass out. And I need food. So yeah, I'm in a bad way. Sorry about that. Clicked the wrong button again. A good place to fish. In the spring, I will definitely fish more. And I wonder if I can make a lot of money fishing. If I can just sell the fish off. I might have to play this game a second time, even though I don't really want to that much, just to kind of experience the different ways I can really live out my months in the woods. Like, what if I completely ignore Alcott? If I completely ignore Emerson? If I just if I just live in the woods without any interaction at all. Don't pick up letters, don't read anything, just chop wood, repair my house, go exploring, get berries, you know, get fish. I wonder how much different this game would be. But then this is about a 6-hour game, it seems. 6-7 hour game, it looks like. And I don't think I have time to play it before the paper is due. Basically, we have to write journal entries regarding the games we played. Not necessarily to compare and to contrast those, but just to write about what our feelings were to the game and our general reactions to certain parts of the game. That's why I'm recording this, because he suggested you should write notes, like have a notebook and paper and pencils and, you know, just jot stuff down. But I figured it might be better for me to actually have recordings of this game and me talking and what my thoughts were at the exact moment that the thing happened, instead of writing notes and kind of trying to really remember, oh yeah, I did feel this because of this reason, and keep pausing the game. And it seemed to have worked for the first week when I played my games, which was Firewatch and Gone Home. Because I constantly would go back while writing my journal entries to kind of reflect and see, okay, I forgot that this happened, but at this time that happened, you know, we found this.
Sometimes, notwithstanding the snow, when I returned from my walk at evening, I crossed the deep tracks of a wood chopper leading from my door, and found his pile of whittlings on the hearth, and my house filled with the odor of his pipe. Every man looks at his woodpile with a kind of affection. I love to have mine before my window, and the more chips, the better to remind me of my pleasing work.
I wonder what happens if my house reaches ultimate, like, it needs a lot of repair. It's like in the worst shape possible. At least getting food doesn't really take away my energy. Also, apologies if you could hear the police cars in the background. It's constantly They constantly come back and forth. And my desk is near the window, so I can't avoid it. But just add that to the random sounds we hear in the game. We just hear police cars for some random reason. Man, how long is it gonna take to get all this food? How close are we? Okay. Oh, let's submit this to the post office. Let's eat the pie. Get fresh clothes. See, I'm pretty sure you can play this. I wonder what playing this would be like without interacting with your family at all. Like, I wonder if you continue to not stop by your house if your sister mentions the
morning,
letters
Henry.
more.
Hello.
What can I do for you?
You have paid back. Oh, whoops. Whoops. Was I not supposed to? Whoops. Whoops. Okay. Never mind. I made a mistake. I'm sorry.
It is never too late to give up our prejudices. No way of thinking or doing, however ancient, can be trusted without proof.
Let me see something. Hold on. Okay. Let's eat the pie. Any letters? No letter. Oh. We will submit this to the post office. Fresh clothes. And let us be on our way.
Good day, Henry.
Hey,
Hello.
hold on, let me check this out.
It is never too late to give up our prejudices. No way of thinking or doing, however ancient, can be trusted without proof.
Okay, let me go pay back the taxes.
What can I do for you?
For several years, let me just read this out fully. I did not pay a tax to or recognize the authority of the state which buys and sells men, women, and children like cattle at the door of the Senate House. Give support to the state. Oh no, we don't want to do that. Hold on. No, we don't want to do that. We don't want to support the state. No. Okay, never mind. Okay, never mind. Yeah, we're not doing that. I guess let us help invest in the house. That was household, right? Woodshed. Wood saw. Let's get a woodshed because that's what the game recommended. And let's get a wood saw. And a hoe. Alright, I'm going. Yeah, we don't want to pay back. We don't want to support the state at all. No mail. Let's just pick that up, and if we have time, we will do it. If not, then whatever. And Emerson's not here. Emerson's not here and we leave his door wide open anyway.
Henry, are you all right?
That was Emerson's voice. We need inspiration. We don't have his books anymore. Oh, that's sad. Poor Emerson. I need a bunny rabbit to look at. Or a hare, if you want to use their name. Or I guess just a place of solitude. I need a rabbit to look at. Let's read this as well. From Alcott, probably.
Dear Henry, thanks to God for your timely assistance for William and Ellen Craft. With your help, they were able to make their way to a ship bound for Europe, where they will live as free persons. I shudder to think of their fate had you not been able to assist them in time. Sincerely, A. Bronson Alcott.
Okay, yay, that's good. That's good for them. So yeah, there was no point in paying taxes while on supporting something we don't believe in, while kind of doing the opposite and trying to help as many free slaves as we can. Or runaway slaves. Am I getting inspiration? No. Okay. Good shape, a little weary and uninspired. So let's find somewhere. Let's find those rocks again. And that was okay. I mean, this pond is really useful. Like I was before, I was like, I'm probably not going to use it that much because I have no reason to go all the way around here. But yeah, it is. It turned out to be one of the most useful ways I could walk. I just want to get to that secluded area with the stones where I thought Sophia's presents were, or hints were. I'm probably not going to find the place because I don't even remember what the note said exactly. We're just gonna stare at it a little bit longer, just so I can see. Let me see. Oh, I keep clicking journal, then WASD instead of E or Q, which kind of turns the page. Fully rested and expired. Needs a little repair work. Of course it does. Let's go back. Oh, and there's the arrowhead. Don't disappear.
One pleasant morning after a cold night, I noticed with surprise that when I struck the ice with the head of my axe, it resounded like a gong for many rods around, or as if I had struck on a tight drum head.
No, I got that. So what is there to do, really? We explored. I don't know if there's any more things to really explore. We look at the fire. Let's check out my fuel, about half fuel. So let's get some more fuel. Let's repair some of my clothes. I guess just go for a walk. Let's just walk. And look out for any arrowheads, but let's just walk. There are two. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it. Definitely not gonna make it. Where is it? Where is it? Where are they? How many more days of winter do we have? I lost track of time. Late
The change
winter.
from storm and winter to serene and mild weather, from dark and sluggish hours to bright and elastic ones, is a memorable crisis which all things proclaim. It is seemingly instantaneous at last.
March 1842. Dear Ellen, thank you for your kind words and sentiments. Our loss has been almost more than we can bear. Poor Henry does not speak John's name, and last month was strangely struck with all the same symptoms of lockjaw we saw in John. Fever and sweats and cramping of the jaw. We were so afraid that we might lose him as well. Sincerely, Sapphire.
Regretfully announces the closing of the Concord Academy due to the recent passing of the Academy Director.
Thank you for coming, Ellen. I'm so worried about our Henry. Without John, he is a shadow without its source. He was so ill at first, and now he roams the woods for hours on end. No one knows where he goes, what he does, but he returns sad and silent. Gone is our merry huckleberry captain. I think he intends to go back to work with Father in the pencil factory, now that the school is closed. But I believe that kind of captivity might kill our wild bird spirit forever.
Oh, it's just you, Henry. Such doldrums we are in. I can barely move my fingers in this cold. Will we ever see the spring again?
I can't read that. A citizen of the United States has alleged that he has invented a new and useful improvement in the writing pencil. Okay. You know, something we haven't do is gone into Mr. Emerson's house and seen the letters. Maybe there's a collection of letters we should check out, probably. There is.
Dear Lydian, all is well while you are away, though our dial, I fear, may be languishing. Henry helps with the household chores and the children. He's like one of our family now. I often find him whittling whistles for Waldo or popping corn in the fireplace in the evenings. I think perhaps you should come home soon, or he will forget his writing altogether and the comforts of our home. Be safe and well, R.W.
Dear Emerson, I am sorry to write and mar your fine holidays with editorial vexation. However, our next issue of the Dial is not progressing as we would hope. Can you please urge your writers to send the manuscripts they have promised, and to take the advisement that we have given on their contents? I fear that without attention, our Dial will not be long in print. Most sincerely, your friend, Margaret Fuller.
Dear Mr. Emerson, it was good to dine with you and Mr. Thoreau last week. He has written a good piece in the last Dial, which gives the spirit of what he sees. Even as a lake reflects its wooded banks, showing every leaf, yet giving the wild beauty of the whole scene. I sense, however, that such an uncompromising person is fitter to meet occasionally in the open air than to have as a permanent guest at table and fireside. I feel from your cooling praise that you may have suffered some inconvenience in your relations with him.
What does that mean?
Sincerely, Nathaniel Hawthorne.
Dear friend, my heart goes out to you and Lydian on hearing the news of young Waldo's sudden passing. Such a blow. Such a blow. I hate to bring more sadness, but I must resign from our Dial. If it is to continue, you must pick up the reins yourself and drive it forward. If only I had been paid some support for my work, I would have remained. My financial options are limited, and so must seek employment as a teacher to support the work I do as a writer. This makes my work on the Dial impossible now. Regretfully, Margaret.
My dearest love, Lydian. Our boy, our little boy is gone. Young Waldo was taken ill on Monday evening and died last night. All his wonderful beauty could not save him. He gave up his innocent breath last night, and my world this morning is cold. Shall we ever dare to love anything again? Farewell and farewell, oh my boy. Come home to us as soon as you are able. R.W.
Oh man. Okay. I don't know why, but I just kind of, I kind of teared up at that. I'm not sure why. I just got emotional at that particular part. I guess because Emerson was such a support to us. He even mentioned that we were part of the family, that we were closer probably to him than his brother. And he was such a important person, it seemed, in Henry's life. You know, he opened up his house to us. He paid us. He would share his knowledge with us. And then his son died and he left. We lost him. And just reading that, his feelings, really, it's... I teared up at that. I did. I'm sorry, I did. But I didn't expect that.
I see you have no head for work now, Henry, but I fear for your genius if you don't go back to writing. What do you find on these long walks of yours? Is there a hidden spring of solace hidden in our woods?
Okay, so I think now officially I can maybe put my idea out there of what I think is happening, or the kind of gist of the game, which is that Henry lost his brother. Henry lost Emerson. She's struggling with writing, with the article, with what's kind of slavery and what's going on in this time. Struggling with the fact that he cannot be with Ellen due to family issues, family disagreements with views. So he came into the woods to kind of, I guess, reflect. To, I guess, just maybe clear his head. You need time to take time off just to, as I said, I've mentioned, I think previously, battle his demons in a sense. Because everything that refers to his writing is in the past. The son died, it seems, shortly after our brother passed, which means it was still back in 1942, 43. Which means we are alone in these woods. We were always alone in these woods. We just were reflecting back on past memories. Now, honestly, there's nothing really left to do but just kind of walk, you know? Just wander around. And you hear the music. Music definitely reflects to some, to sadness, to depression. Things happened. Henry went through some shit. And he's kind of lost at the moment. Where's the next one? There it is. Okay. Yeah, right now there really isn't anything much to do, it seems. Just kind of walk around. Which is, I guess, the point of the game. Just walk around, explore, kind of take in your surroundings. Or for Henry, at least, that was his point.
This pond never breaks up so soon as the others in this neighborhood, on account both of its greater depth and its having no stream passing through it to melt or wear away the ice. It commonly opens about the 1st of April, a week or 10 days later than Flint's Pond in Fairhaven, beginning to melt on the north side and in the shallower parts where it began to freeze.
March 1846. Henry, the ice in the pond is breaking up, and spring is in the air. I know your favorite season in the woods is approaching, but we hope to see you at home soon. Do your work and come home to us strong and healthy. Remember that you are our only brother now, and Mother's only son.
My dear Henry, you have nearly weathered the winter in our woods and seem to be well situated to bear witness to the thaw of your habitat into mud and clay. Are you still finding inspiration out there on the damp edge of our society? Recall, if you will, that a frog was made to live in a swamp, but a man was not made to live in a swamp. Yours ever, R.W.E.
Dear Henry, I hear that you have offered your cabin as location for the Concord Female Anti-Slavery Society to hold its anniversary gathering. I commend you for this, and for ringing the bell of freedom from your post in the woods.
Of
However,
course.
a more desperate friend also needs your help. Look for my instructions here tomorrow morning, and be ready. Yours, A. Bronson Alcott.
Okay, let me get some food. So I wonder how many days left we have for winter. Maybe 1 or 2? Guys, Walden Pond is breaking up. It is not safe to skate or boat now, but you look forward to spring coming soon.
Friend Henry, young Thomas Sims is in grave danger and desperately needs our help. Recently arrived in Boston, concealed aboard a ship from Georgia, he is fleeing north to the border. Sims will go to the ruined shelter in the South Woods under cover of darkness tonight. God willing, find the aid he requires. He needs these items to continue, so hide them in the place I've marked on your map before the end of night. Most sincerely, A. Bronson Alcott.
Okay, so we have to make the long way around. I wonder if all the campfires are... Ah. Okay, so my type of weather also. I love thunderstorms. I mean, this is gonna be a long way around. So yeah, I guess I'm already tired. A long way, and I didn't see any fire. And our house needs repair, of course. I think we might have just walked the rest of the way there. Like, I wonder what would happen also if you ignored every one of Alcott's letters, if eventually he stops sending them. You know, he realizes you don't plan to help at all. Come on, Henry.
Interesting.
Red squirrel. We're getting close. We're really close. Come on, Henry, just a little bit lower. Just a little bit more. There's the boat, so it's a little bit above the boat. Or below the boat, I guess. We made it! We made it. Can I chop some wood also? Nope, that's it. That's all I can do. So get some food. So let's go to the pond. I guess I'd walk around and get some wood. That'd be a good thing to do. So now let's just walk. That's fish, okay. Will there be any fish in this type of condition, in this weather? What is that? We got one. Okay. Made some money there. Nothing this time. Let's try one more time, and then we'll make our way back home. Okay, and nothing. How much did we make from that? Okay, so like maybe 50 cents per thing? Or like 15 cents. Or 25 cents. And no arrowheads. Right? Not even one, like, indication that there's arrowhead around here.
Success, Henry. I am happy to report the fortuitous outcome of Thomas Sim's journey. With our help, he was able to avoid agents of the law who would have certainly thrust him aboard a ship bound back to slavery in Georgia. It is a terrible state our country is in. Slave power that it is. You must do what you can. Write and speak your conscience. Your friend, A. Bronson Alcott.
Okay, so let's focus on fixing up our house, fixing up our clothes, getting food, getting wood, and then I don't know what we'll do. I wonder if I can start planting my beans now, since it's pretty much the end of winter. Let me see, actually, hold on. Let me go to my bean field. I think it was this way. I think it's still too early. Yep. Let's go into town, actually. Let's do something. Any letters? No. Nothing, okay. No clothes. No arrowheads, no memories. Let's check the post office.
Dear friend Thoreau, I trust you have not thought me neglectful with regard to your business. It is only today that I have been able to lay my hand on the money due you from Graham. I have made Graham pay you $12, but only send you 10 to account for my expenses, and shall now stand even with you in money. Thoreau, if you will only write 1 or 2 articles in this spirit, but half the length, I can sell them readily. I remain yours, etc., Horace Greeley.
Good to see you, Henry.
Good afternoon.
What can I do for you?
Uh, Maybe new clothes? Let's get a sturdy suit. Let's get a better fishing rod.
There is an incessant influx of novelty into the world, and yet we tolerate incredible dullness.
Let's go fishing. Actually, there's nothing really much to do in this game anymore. Because we don't seem to be getting as many arrowheads as we did before. There's nothing really to explore, it doesn't seem. So let me see if I catch anything good, and if not, then I think I'm just gonna edit it in a way that the day just ends early a little bit, because there's nothing really to do. Oh, that's much better. And one more. Okay. Okay. Where you are? I'm in the cabin.
One attraction in coming to the woods was that I should have opportunity to truly see the spring come in. The sky appears broader now than it did. The day has opened its eyelids wider. The lengthening of the days is a kind of forerunner of the next season.
Spring. The pond will come to an end after the season. You may want to conclude any to-do items on your list or just enjoy coming of spring. Emerson.
Dear Henry, I will soon be off to London and Paris to deliver my new lecture and meet with Mr. Dickens, Lord Tennyson, and Mr. Carlyle. There is quite the revolutionary climate in Paris these days, and Lydia wishes I would not go. But how can I sit idle when America faces our own impending struggles against tyranny? I think if you were to stay here full time with her and the children, her mind would be more at ease in my absence. What do you say? Will you leave your little cabin soon to become a sojourner in civilized life again? R.W.E.
May 1846. Dear Henry, I hope that your work has gone well, that your experiment has been fruitful. The thaw has finally come, and with it my hope that you will return home, brother, as our John can never do. Your always loving, Sophia.
So let's go to Emerson's place. Let's check out any letters. And then let's go to Concord. No music. It's completely quiet this time. Usually there's some type of music when playing this game. Right, it's completely quiet. Wow. Emerson!
Mrs. Ripley and her friends were so charmed the other night to hear your account of your housekeeping at Walden Pond. They loved the witty wisdom that ran through it. I dare say you have the makings of a popular piece there, if that is how you wish to write, of course. E.A. Dwakink, Publisher. Dear Sir, Mr. Henry D. Thoreau of this town is working on a book which he wishes to publish. It is the account of his experiment in living in the woods of our Walden Pond. The book has many merits, and may be his best work to date. It will be attractive to lovers of nature, as well as scholars, and to all thoughtful persons for its originality and profoundness. Would you like to print this book in your American library? I am sending you a draft on behalf of the author. Yours respectfully, R.W. Emerson.
Emerson,
Good
I
afternoon.
missed you. I missed you,
Hello.
man.
Oh, you found my Rigveda. Good for you, Henry. I wanted to look at...
Yes, I've read it.
Well, that's good. I'd hoped you would, and that it would give you inspiration. Don't you ask as well?
Yes, I have seen it and can get it for you.
Well, that's wonderful.
I look forward to it. Goodbye for now.
Emerson, I missed you and you losing all your books. It's good to have you back, man. It was getting a little bit lonely without someone here. Pie. Just takes it from the windowsill. Typical Henry. Oh. This is uncovered.
Interesting.
So I guess we finally were moving on.
Rather than love, than money, than fame, give me truth. I sat at a table where were rich food and wine in abundance, and obsequious attendance, but sincerity and truth were not. And I went away hungry from the inhospitable board.
Those entire book?
Dear Mr. Greeley, my brother, Henry Thoreau, has asked me to send you this manuscript of his first book. He says that you have been much interested in his shorter works, and may take this as well. The book follows a boat trip taken with our late brother John on the Concord and Merrimack rivers, and is a meditation on the cyclical nature of time, true friendship, and the understanding of death. I am certain you will find it worthy. Yours, Sophia Thoreau.
Happy spring to you, Henry. Surely you must be ready to come home now, having seen a full year at the pond. Though it must be fine this time of year. I never have time to see it myself, but a man must make a living.
Okay, let's look at the memory that was on the steps.
What an idea, Henry. A cabin in the woods? And you would live there alone, working and writing? About our woods and your experiment in living? A new kind of adventure. On life, I suppose. I see a thaw in you, Henry. Finally, a new dawn. It's a good plan.
Okay. Let's go get Emerson's book, I guess. Oh, we didn't really... Let's go maybe go east toward Concord Road. Let's look at this also. There's more airheads now.
If a man does not keep pace with his companions, perhaps it is because he hears a different drummer. Let him step to the music which he hears, however measured or far away.
So I guess we've moved on at this point, or we've kind of, I guess, changed our mindset a little bit, because it seems to be more, it's spring, it's brighter, it's happier. Everyone's kind of come back.
Early in May, the oaks, hickories, maples, and other trees, just putting out amidst the pine woods around the pond, imparted a brightness like sunshine to the landscape, especially in cloudy days, as if the sun were breaking through mists and shining faintly on the hillsides here and there.
Like, it feels happier now, and more like relaxed. It's still not too much to do. We need to work on our house. But we need to explore as well.
Fishermen, hunters, woodchoppers, and others, spending their lives in the fields and woods, in a peculiar sense a part of nature themselves, are often in a more favorable mood for observing her, in the intervals of their pursuits, than philosophers or poets even, who approach her with expectation.
Yeah, Henry kind of seems more back to his old self now. Time skip, made it back to my cabin, and I found this.
I was startled by the honking of geese flying low over the woods, like weary travelers getting in late from southern lakes, and indulging at last in unrestrained complaint and mutual consolation. Standing at my door, I could hear the rush of their wings when, driving toward my house, they suddenly spied my light, and with hushed clamor wheeled and settled in the pond. I am convinced that if all men were to live as simply as I then did, thieving and robbery would be unknown. These take place only in communities where some have got more than is sufficient, while others have not enough.
I also saw another arrow in the distance, so let's maybe go get that now. Right there, you see?
The pitch pines and shrub oaks about my house, which had so long drooped, suddenly resumed their several characters, looked brighter, greener, and more erect and alive, as if effectually cleansed and restored by the rain. This further experience also I gained. I said to myself, I will not plant beans and corn with so much industry another summer, but such seeds, if the seed is not lost, as sincerity, truth, simplicity, faith, innocence, and the like, and see if they will not grow in this soil.
So yeah, I don't have the option now. Oh, now I do. So I was clicking and nothing was happening. And now music is here. Music, and it's definitely a lot more optimistic than what we had in the wintertime. It's a lot more like upbeat, kind of hopeful than the wintertime music. At my cabin, I think.
The light, which puts out our eyes, is darkness to us. Only that day dawns to which we are awake. There is more day to dawn. The sun is but a morning star.
Let's go see Mr. Emerson. And then from there we will go back to town, see if there's anything in the mail. That's become our like our routine now, it seems. And then after this, we only have one more day left of spring, and I think we're done. Completed a draft. Oh, same thing. Okay. Okay, I'm going.
I see young men, my townsmen, whose misfortune it is to have inherited farms, houses, barns, cattle, and farming tools, for these are more easily acquired than got rid of. Better if they had been born in the open pasture and suckled by a wolf, that they might have seen with clearer eyes what field they were called to labor in. Superfluous wealth can buy superfluities only. Money is not required to buy one necessary of the soul.
No letters. Okay. Okay, and this is our last day at the cabin. This is our last day here. No more letters. Yeah, that's it. This is our final day. Maybe just like walk around a little bit. We don't really have to worry about the cabin. I guess we can possibly go home and go to see Emerson. You know what? Let's do something we haven't really done, which is go to the pond and take a boat out. I need a boat. Where am I? Oh, but there's a boat behind me. There it is. Can we pass out in this boat? I wonder if we can just pass out in the middle of the pond. We can pass out in this pond. Relax a little bit, Henry. It's okay. You're fine. So we're gonna swim straight to the other side? Because it didn't say, where we want to go exactly. Okay. Ah, okay. That's what it is. And you can choose where you want to go. Okay. And we can fish, I think. Yep. You know what? Just calm down a little bit. Come on, Henry, calm down, calm down. Your cove. Come on, Henry, calm down. What's wrong with you, man? I guess we're spending the rest of our day out here. Because if I need energy to row back and I have no energy to row back, then I think I'm stuck here. Okay. So we are stuck here. So let's just spend the rest of the day kind of just on this pond, and I'm gonna quickly, and we're better. And I'm gonna edit this because there's nothing really left to do, I don't think. There's no real place to explore anymore. Today's our final day in the woods, in the cabin, alone. So let's just enjoy the water. This day concludes experiment, but you may continue to explore. Okay. So will there be like an ending thing? Or did it just, was that the end? That was it. Like, that's what I'm curious about. Is there an actual ending to the game, or... Anything else to say?
Henry, are you all right?
I wonder if that person speaking is our brother. You know, maybe. Because I don't know, recognize where that voice comes from. Leave Walden Pond. Let's go.
I left the woods for as good a reason as I went there. Perhaps it seemed to me that I had several more lives to live, and could not spare any more time for that one. I learned this, at least, by my experiment. In proportion as one simplifies their life, the laws of the universe will appear less complex, and solitude will not be solitude, nor poverty poverty, nor weakness weakness.
And that was Walden a game. Now, final thoughts. That was kind of a roller coaster of emotions. Let me put the volume down a little bit. Okay. Yeah. So that was a roller coaster of emotions. I started the game not really interested, and I was like, okay, I don't really care. I don't really understand what's going on. But we are living in the woods, and we just got to figure out what to do. But I don't know. I don't know what's happening. And then kind of when we went on and listened to the story a little bit more, like got more background information regarding Henry and what happened to him, why maybe he went into the woods, why this experiment took place. You kind of start to really get into the game, especially the parts about Emerson and losing his son, and the letters, basically the letter to his wife, you know, kind of telling her that definitely got me emotional. In the 3 games we've played so far, I mean the 4 games total we played, which is Gone Home, Firewatch, Dear Esther, and Walden a game, that was probably the only specific scene where I kind of teared up. I'm not sure why, but I did. Just hearing him talk about his son, like the way the anguish in his voice, trying to explain to his wife that his son is dead, he's not coming back. That was tough. The second, I guess, maybe scene I can compare that to is in Gone Home, where we read spoilers through our sister's journal, and I assume at one point that maybe she killed herself and that we would find her dead body. That kind of got to me as well, because because it just got to me. So definitely unexpected emotions towards this game. A good thing, I think. Good thing. I'm trying to figure out if between this game and Dear Esther, which has more realism in it. And I think it might be even in a way. Dear Esther had like a very realistic type. No, most of the games, except for maybe for Firewatch, had like a more realistic type of storyline. But I guess Dear Esther, you really could feel the emotion in the game. You don't run in the game, which I felt was a realistic characteristic, because you don't run in real life everywhere. You don't sprint from place to place. You walk usually. There was no invisible wall in Dear Esther also, which was different. You could actually you could fall off places, fall off cliffs. You could go into the water and technically drown and come back to life. There was no barrier, which is the same to real life. There's no invisible wall in real life where it'll stop you if you're not supposed to go there. Walden a game did have invisible walls that kind of broke the immersion a little bit, but it's interactive mechanics in a way. It's the survival instinct of you need to get food to survive. You need to sometimes slow down and take a break, otherwise you will pass out. That's very realistic. Also, even though there is sprinting, it's not like unlimited sprinting. You can sprint, but you will get tired and you will have to stop and just continue walking. That's very realistic. Graphics wise, both games are have far more realistic visuals than Gone Home and Firewatch. Firewatch was a little bit more cartoonish, a little bit more. But interactive wise, I would say that both are kind of the same. As I mentioned before, it depends on the personality and the story of the narrator. In Dear Esther, the narrator was depressed. He kind of already knew his surroundings because he's been there before. It was his island. But he was just kind of walking through, reliving his memories, kind of going over everything in his head. So there was really no point in looking around, picking up objects, interacting in that sense. You just kind of walked and listened and tried to understand what was going on. There was no need to really interact with anything. Whereas for this game, the narrator is more, in a sense, upbeat. He is curious. He wants to explore. This is an experiment for him to get away for a year. So it just seemed more sense for him to pick up objects, inspect closer, find inspiration through animals and being in solitude. But I'm trying to think, storyline wise, which one did I enjoy more? I think I felt more emotion maybe for Walden a game. Just kind of learning about his brother's passing, how bad that affected him, losing motivation because of that. I think that's probably something a lot of people can relate to. And, he had to close his school because the brother died. He lost the girl that he liked because her father did not approve of his views, and our views are anti-slavery. We can tell that. Our parents are anti-slavery. We were constantly helping people, runaway slaves, get to freedom. So we kind of learn more about the narrator in a sense through Walden a game. Of course, a lot of that has to do with what we choose to do. We could have always just chose not to help any slaves, not to read the letters, not to talk to Mr. Emerson, not to go home. None of that. We just chose to live in the woods. Just pick berries, fish, chop wood, fix our clothes, fix our house, and that's it. There was no requirement that you had to do anything else other than that. So I guess that it technically is it's all up to the player of the game. But for me, the way I played it, Walden you seem to get a better view of the narrator through Walden with the way I played it. Whereas, and there are a lot more choices in Walden. You can either, you play the game how you want. There's different options on how to play the game. Whereas Dear Esther, it was kind of like that, as in you can take different paths to get to the same destination in the end. You can hear different dialogue throughout the game depending on where you go, and sometimes even if you go the same way, you hear new dialogue. But you always end up in the same path at the end. You kind of, no matter what, you figure out, you learn about the story no matter what. So, and you don't really, it's kind of confusing, Dear Esther, because you don't really realize until the end that he is Paul, that he was the one that killed his wife. And then you meet other characters, or he mentions other characters, and you're like, okay, I think I remember who this is. I don't remember exactly. So, it was interesting. You go through more seasons and weather changes in Walden the game. But then Walden the game, I think it definitely takes place over a couple of months, whereas Dear Esther is a few days, I want to say. But either way, I think they're on the same scale, on the same level of realism. And I think that's it. I think that's everything my professor wanted us to mention. And the environment, I guess, a little bit. Both worlds were a lot more open than week one, kind of. Well, Firewatch had a pretty big map, but Gone Home had a pretty small map. It was just a place in a house. So I think I'm gonna end it there for Walden game. I probably should replay this game over, but I can't bring myself to, just because even though it was a good game, it was okay, it was a good game, I just was so bored with doing nothing and exploring, and I was so bored with this game. So I'm probably not going to replay it. I'm probably going to check online and see if there are any other playthroughs of this game. I didn't see it, unfortunately. I saw like bits and pieces, but not like full playthroughs. So we will see. We will see. Even if I do play the game, I won't record it again and put it on this channel, so. But, yeah. Next week, we are playing Stanley Parable. I am probably gonna stream Stanley Parable. I will try. I want to get the best graphics as possible for these games. And if streaming doesn't allow me to do so, I might just record everything and then upload it to Twitch as a podcast and then stream something else, because I enjoy streaming. I think I enjoy streaming. But yeah, this was Walden a game. This was one game that is a part of my interactive narrative game series that is going to be ongoing for the next couple weeks. And yeah, if you made it this far, I hope you enjoyed. I don't know if I really enjoyed. I just kind of played along and tried to figure out what was happening. And it was a good game. I don't know if I enjoyed the game. I don't know if I like this game. I probably wouldn't ever come back to this game. But maybe you would. Maybe you should just check it out. It was not that expensive. It's not on Twitch. But you might have a different experience than me. And if you do, and you play this game and you do, let me know in the comments. Maybe there were some things throughout the game that kind of differed. Maybe comments differed through the game. Maybe there were different outcomes. I don't know, and I probably won't know because I don't plan to replay this game. So let me know. And yeah, that is it. I will see you guys next week with the Stanley Parable.